Hello, Pete Newman again, and we're here on Better Late and Clever, inviting you to enjoy another episode, and also inviting you to join in. So if you have, I don't know, a relative, or you are yourself in a position to have these fantastic stories, then get in touch with us. I don't know, send me a message on Facebook or something, Charlie Newman on Facebook, and we'll come and see you. We'll bring the cameras, we'll take a little interview, and up you'll go, famous at last for 15 minutes on Better Late and Clever. Now you know what it's all about. It's all about going back in time and telling stories. And when I realized a few weeks ago that I was as old as most of the people that are telling the stories, I thought, well, I'd tell mine. So I did one, and the last one was the apple. So if you haven't seen that, have a look, because that's interesting. Now, what I did after the trip to Barry to pick up a bagatelle for the D-Day celebrations, which they're going to have, an old bagatelle, I called at number 33 Sloper Road and knocked the door. The guy came out from the extension and said yes, and he was looking a bit dubious at me, and he didn't know, and I promised him I would not talk about God and politics or anything like that. I said, you know the upstairs bedroom in the front? Yes, he said, of course he knew it. Yeah. I said, well, 81 years ago I was born in there. Well, when they picked him up off the floor and brought him down, he was amazed, absolutely fantastic. Shout to his again, this is someone here that was born in the upstairs. They'd been there for 45 years, so they were already in the 70s. But what we did then, and you'll see little clips of this to illustrate it, when I was about 5, so we're talking now 75, 76 years ago, the house had a door there to go out to the front, and a door there to go into the room. So it's quite narrow with another wall in the front, and a flight of stairs. And I used to go out to play. Well, I was going to play really. My mother used to make me some sandwiches and a cup of tea, and I would sit on the bottom step and I would drive my truck. And then during the game I would open the front door, go out and put some petrol in the van, and then another times I would go in the living room and deliver the milk or whatever I had to my mother. That was how I played. Nothing. No, none of this. No game boys or anything. That was how I created my own environment of a long distance lorry driver. And you'll see in the clip, the stairs that are behind me, still there, the house is exactly the same. And I am being told the apple trees from the garden have long since died. But the concrete path through the middle of the garden is still there after all these years. The air raid shelter and the outside loo, gone. So that's the story, and it was great to be there and meet with them and talk to them. And I said to them, you didn't expect to have this conversation this morning, did you? Oh, no, we never. And that was it. So that's my story, and you'll see that clips of it come in as we've been talking. But we've got some others for you as well. We've got a very interesting conversation with someone from the Emerald Isle, and another conversation of someone that goes back 34 years in her memory with all sorts of things that she was showing me. Okay, so that's it, and well, enjoy it. Don't forget to share, and don't forget, if you want to get involved, now is the time. Well, here we are, right, to start today's podcast. This is Jan, and I'm going to hand over to her now because she's got a story about this building that we're sat in. Over to you, Jan.
Right. I'm only just saying now, I'm showing the gentleman by me. I don't think any of them. I've got a membership card, like this one.
Oh, yes.
That I have got from when I first came here. Right?
So you were in on the first day?
I was here the first day it opened.
And that was, what, last week or the week before?
That's definitely last week or the week before, yes, definitely, yes. And my husband was alive then, and we moved in, and there was about 3 couples, three different couples, and just 2 other neighbours, with the one young woman and her grandmother.
Nice.
And her grandmother was here with her. She was fetching, she was claiming pit pension.
Whoa.
Her grandmother was. She was claiming pit pension.
Now, you know that the younger viewers that see this will not have the foggiest idea
well,
of
they
pit
were.
pension
Her
from the
grandmother
mines.
was claiming pit pension.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, when she was here. Yeah, definitely.
And what were you doing when you first came here? Did you have a little job somewhere, or were you retired?
No, I wasn't working then, no. I hadn't worked for years.
No.
And my husband wasn't well.
Yeah.
And that's why we had to come here, because he couldn't do the stairs. He had a stroke.
Ah.
And he couldn't do the stairs, look.
Yeah.
See?
And have you been happy here?
Oh, God, yes, because I have. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't.
Well, it's a great record, that, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Can you just show us those pictures again? Just put this is what fascinates me.
Yeah,
this
with a
this
membership
is
card.
oh, that's terrific.
For the social that we made up here.
Well, that's terrific.
Yeah, and all these papers here now, when we had like Carol doing the bingo, and he let us doing the teas and all that, right? You had points
All right.
for how many hours that you say she was there for an hour doing the tea.
Yeah.
And you had this little money strips. And we saved them. If they'd done an hour, I had to write it down on my sheet.
Yeah.
And say how many hours they had done. And they'd have a strip for every hour.
Well, what a great idea.
And then when they go a trip with the complex, but we didn't have to pay because we saved our strips.
Yeah.
And whatever strips we had, they would come to pay for you a ticket on the bus, look. So you didn't have to pay the bus then, look. But if say someone from your complex came,
Yeah.
like some of them do now with your trips, they could come, but they had to pay. They did, look. But we didn't have to pay because we had a strip. We'd all saved our strips for the little jobs that we did here. Yeah. And we collected them and we had that for our tickets, look.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, I think we ought to give it a round of applause.
That's it. On there, look, is a photo of my husband.
Oh, come on, let's have a look at him.
On there.
Hold him up to the camera. What's his name?
Here.
Down here, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Warwick.
Hey, that's a cool name as well.
Warwick, yeah.
That's it. No, we're going good, yeah.
It was from United Welsh, that was, look.
Oh, yes.
He's on the one, and I don't know who the children are. They must be from another complex, right? And there was another one there. Now, perhaps somebody would recognise them.
Oh, let's unlock.
Because it's from another complex, that is, look.
You don't recognise them, do you? No?
See, so perhaps they is from another complex, look, see?
That's cool.
But, yeah, they came and asked me, that was just a couple of weeks after we moved in. And they come and asked us if we would mind having our photos taken. Yeah. I couldn't find mine. I got one with me on it. And they said, who's in the kitchen? And I said, my husband doing the dishes. And the man took his photo. And we used to have a monthly magazine, but they don't do it now. We used to have a monthly magazine years ago with everybody, you know, people on it with your birthday.
Yeah, I think they did do something, didn't they?
If you had a special birthday, like Dillis, there's a photo over there, over on the end over there, with Dillis when she was 90.
Oh, right.
And, you know, they put her in the book, look, see?
Yeah.
She was one of our,
We're going to come in well then. We've got more assistants here. Then.
She was 90.
Right, put it in the picture.
She was 90, look. That was her 90th birthday. That was.
Well,
Dillis.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And they put her in the book, you know, when you'd have the magazine, they put her in the magazine.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's been lovely talking to you.
Well, like I said, I've been to nearly all the complexes.
Have you?
Because when they've had concerts and that, you know.
Yeah.
And what's his name now? Down Tiffany? Andrew. Oh my God. You do hate to see me. because when he'd see me, he'd say, "Oh God, Jan, what's the matter now?" Because I always got something to grizzle about.
If you're watching, Andrew.
If Andrew's watching, he knows me, he knows us. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. You're going out, I think, with your family.
Oh, that's all right, that's all right.
That's good.
It's
Okay.
because it's my birthday, not my niece's birthday. That one now, look, is from the first year we moved in.
Right.
And those are my own neighbours.
Out in the garden. Better show them to the camera, because we want everybody and his brother
Oh
to.
God, never. That's
to
an
see
old
him.
one, that is.
Oh, that's a way.
Let's see if I can find one with, that's our wardens, that is. There's not much pictures. Oh, you are, there's one, but they're up with us on a Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Christmas parties. We used to have lovely Christmas parties. Oh, that's a good one. That one is as well.
Oh, here we go. Now she's bringing the good gear
That's
out.
your place, I think. Is that over in your place, or is in one of the big ones over there?
Oh, I think it was over Caerphilly, Jan.
That one's in Caerphilly, yeah.
Turn around and we'll get it. We'll get
I
it.
don't know if we can get it in. Can
Well, yeah, we will. We'll come in close and we'll do a zoom.
there you are. Look, that's one of the parties that we went to.
Fabulous.
That is,
Well,
yeah. That's you know those on there, yeah.
Calendar.
Huh?
This is good.
On the calendar, by the looks. The calendar.
Yes. It was off the calendar, yeah, it is, yeah. Oh, that's another one of my husband. Oh, got loads of oh, look at that wicked lot.
Oh, dear me. Dear me.
Oh, that's Veronica. She lives here now, Veronica.
Does she?
Yeah, Veronica lives
Let's have a
here.
look at this. Get a picture. Veronica is the one on by my thumb,
Where be by?
which is Veronica.
That's Veronica, but there, look, on the end
And
one.
she still lives here.
Veronica still lives here, yeah.
Well, tell her we'll be trying to get her story and try and talk and tell her how easy it
Oh,
was.
God, don't ask her. For a story for
I
God's
think
sake.
she got family.
That's our lady, but there, look, for her birthday.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, there's Veronica again, look.
Well, he's a super record.
Yeah. And that's Anne that used to live here. Her daughter lives next door by her.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute, we got that's Anne. This is Anne.
That's Anne,
That's
yeah.
Anne. Here you are. We'll get more, a lot for our money this morning.
Yeah. Oh, no, that one, but there, is a lovely friend of ours. Janice. He's over there, Dara, tell you about Janice.
Yeah, she was like...
She died now last year before last, wasn't it? 2 years now. Yeah. Janice playing bingo. Oh, she was lovely, Janice was. Yeah, we got
Well, that is super.
I got loads of photos.
That is very, very
Yeah,
good. That's exactly what we want people to see. Right, well, that was the story of an original tenant. And now we're going to an up-to-date. We're going to introduce you to Mick now, who is an interesting character from the Emerald Isles. And of course, he will be on. These all will be on as they remember things. We can develop your favourites and you can watch them. But at the moment now, this is Mick with his story, and the little snippet on the end is something that he forgot to tell me, and we put the camera back on and he told us. So watch out for that. Here we go.
Here we go.
It's going to be over to you now because we want your early life story.
Right.
Introduce yourself to us and away we go.
Very good. Well, my name is Mick Lynch, and I was born in County Cork, a place called Middleton, the home of good whisky in Ireland, in Southern Ireland. I was born in 53, a large family, big, large Catholic family, and we didn't have much. It was that type of 1950s type of a street scene, if you like, where anybody had nothing. Nobody had much because that meant that there was no snobbery or anything like that. We were all the same. And I grew up, went through the school system and the whole lot, of course. And around 16 years of age, I became a weaver. I joined a place called Middleton Worsted Mills with about 100 looms and there was about 12 looms in our particular
That's a lot of looms, isn't it?
It's a lot of looms, isn't
Not
it?
a-
That's a lot of noise, actually.
Oh,
you know?
boy.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't have the hearing protection in them
What?
days.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, this was for material, not for carpets. This was they do carpet
This was
looms.
actually the type of suit
Yes,
material, you know,
yes,
like on
yeah,
our trousers
yeah.
now, like that.
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
they don't do a lot of it
Woolen and
nowadays.
worsted.
That's
you know?
it. Lovely, lovely.
Yeah, which was good. It was easy enough to operate. You know,
Yeah.
the big. I think they were about 8 foot wide dub cross looms that came from. I think it was Lancashire or somewhere.
And was it the yarn? Was that wool?
The yarn was worsted, mostly worsted,
Yeah.
but you had woolen patterns as well. I hated the woolen patterns because you'd break a thread about every 5 seconds, you know, and you'd stop, repair the thread, back on again, stopped again, you know.
Yeah.
So I loved the worsted material because as you look at it on a suit, you look at it on your suit, and you'd see that it's more it's stronger, you know.
Yeah.
It's less chance of it breaking going through the loom. And if you were set up, you could do, my goodness, you could do yards and yards of an actual pattern of a material. You could weave yards and yards.
Thank you, Delwyn. I'll see you next week.
Bye. Thanks again. Take care.
Next week.
Sorry. But you could do yards and yards and yards of worsted material, get it around onto the big beam without a flaw, without a break, and of course we were on piecework. So it was I preferred working on worsted material. And I loved it. You had the whole idea, if you've seen a loom yourself, you had the whole idea of the shuttles bringing the weft across, and in between the shell, the hills and the shafts and the whole lot there. It was fascinating to watch it moving, you know. And you, as I say, if you've got about 20 yards of that without a break, you were doing all right, because all you had to do was just watch it.
Yes.
So I enjoyed that. It was very good.
Did that come off a frame of bobbins?
It did, yeah. In the spinning and the yarn store, my dad actually worked in the yarn store. He was the one who would choose all the different skins, as they call it, types of wool. He had them in bobbins, and he'd maybe bring them in then from the spinnels. He'd bring it in from the spinnels into the loom shed itself, you know, for us to work away with that. But these girls in the
Have a good one, guys.
Ta-da, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
in the spindles, you know, they were, thanks a million, Grace, thank you. In the spinning department, the girls would obviously fill the bobbins, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, we'd have the bobbin to put it into the shuttle, and that was the thing. There was 3 or 4 shuttles coming
I
back
got a
and
shuttle
forth.
in the house.
Do you still have one?
One shuttle about that big.
Yeah.
That's it. With I got the shuttle, and the thing comes out, doesn't it? So you fit it.
That's
like
right.
that. Yeah.
Really toss it up.
Yeah.
There was a thing, I can't remember what it was, but if the pattern chain was wrong, I remember making up pattern chains as well, and if you made a mistake on it, where 2 shuttles met in the middle of the loom, that was hilarious, because they had like bullet heads on them.
Yes.
You know? And when the 2 of them met, there was a bang that would frighten the living daylights out of you. And especially if you were coming up towards the troubled times in Ireland, you know.
Yeah.
And a big bang was not the best thing for a person's blood pressure, you know.
Not like a big bang in Wales.
Exactly. So I enjoyed that. I was about 3 or 4 years doing that.
Yeah.
And then thankfully I got we all heard that the textile industry was going down, and it was in trouble. It was the same over here.
Yeah.
But in Ireland, sure enough, the same thing. Textile industry was in serious trouble, and I remember being advised by somebody, Mick, if you can get yourself another trade now, it's time to go and do it. So I was very, very fortunate. I got the electrical trade,
right.
And I got an apprenticeship in one of the largest companies in Ireland, and I was thrilled with that. And that was, I'd say, for the rest of my working days, that was what stood to me, you know. I was an electrical contractor for the rest of that time. But I missed the weaving, you know. I did miss the weaving. There was something about it that made you feel that you were actually making something.
That's right. It really is a creative.
It's a creative
skill, isn't it?
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, you know, I just went on into like when I learned how to become an electrician, then there was fault finding, troubleshooting, and sort of maybe finishing off a whole pattern of a lighting system or something like that, a socket system in a house, and that kind of got the juices going again.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not exactly creative; it was just doing what you were told.
That's right.
It was slightly different.
And getting it nice and right.
Get it right.
Neat, that is the thing.
Get it right.
With electric wiring.
Don't zap anybody. Get it right, yeah.
That's it.
That's right, yeah. And neatness definitely was the whole standard. Yeah, it was.
Now, somewhere in this life, you picked up a guitar, didn't you?
I did. I certainly did. I picked up a 6-string guitar.
What made you do that? What made you go to that instrument?
I had finished my apprenticeship, and I was a qualified electrician. But we were also in the middle of the first recession I ever knew, in the mid-1970s. And it was very hard for a young electrician with no experience to actually get a job anywhere, in the big places. They all wanted an electrician with 5 or 6 years experience. And I used to say, how do I get the experience if I don't get to work first? It was the old ding dong that I've heard people complaining about down through the years. So I had to do something to keep my sanity, and the guitar was the thing. I had a few friends, and we'd go down to the pub, and we'd sit down and we'd enjoy a session down below there. And itchy fingers, I had no instrument myself, so I'd end up with maybe a tambourine or spoons, anything,
Spoons, yeah.
And I'd keep the old rhythm going. But I was itching for a guitar, and eventually I managed to get one. In 1975, November 75, I got this lovely acoustic guitar, bought it with one of my week's wages, and it was 54 Irish pounds. Yeah, which I couldn't put it into sterling today, but I'd say it wouldn't be much more than £30.
I know, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good for.
I was very
for the value in the instrument.
Exactly.
That's
great.
great.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
great.
It was a copy of a Martin, and these days it sounds better than the Martin itself. So
yes,
I did all right. It saw me through. Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep some of these stories for a music podcast that we're going to
lovely.
do. So, and I know, because I know you've told me about this guitar, which is really, really lovely.
Yes.
Mother of Pearl on the
That's right.
tuners and
They're
all
not
that.
there anymore now, but that's right. That's what they want to start.
So, what we'll do, I'll say thanks a lot for this. This has been really good. And
Thank you very much indeed.
Remembering back, and what are we? When were you born again? 1953.
I was born in 53.
53.
Yeah. So I was just a young fella.
So it's a long time ago, mind, isn't it?
It's a while ago.
It's
yeah.
a long time ago.
It is.
Anyway, great. Thanks very much for doing that.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah.
You forgot to tell me something, Mick.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, I was actually earning £2.10 in Irish pounds a week. And that was my very first week's wages out of school. And I was thrilled. So I got the 10 shillings, which was rich as untold. And my mother got the £2, you see. So everybody was happy, right back in the late 1960s. That was, So I was on Happy Street.
Brilliant.
So there's episode 5 in the can. Watch it, enjoy, and look forward to some future things. We have some plans. Of course, D-Day is approaching, 6th of June, I think that is, and there will be lots of memories. I'm finding out, not quite during the war particularly, because a lot of them are 1940, 1942, and that when the war is coming to an end, but some very nice, clever little stories about what happened then, from one end of the scale to the other. So look forward to that. That's going to be coming probably, I don't know whether that'll be 6 or 7 or whatever it is, we don't know, but never mind, you'll see it. Do join us. Better late and clever.